Hey everyone, welcome back to Driftwood Journeys. I finally get to show you guys the rebuild and restore of our 2004 Key West 186 dual console. We picked this up on Mother's Day weekend of this year. We wanted something with a little bit more room than the 1720 has to offer. So we were browsing Marketplace, of course, and found this deal with the boat, trailer, and Johnson 140 that was on it for $3,500. So we got home, couldn't figure out what we wanted to do with the engine, if we wanted to fix it or put another one. We ended up just taking the engine off, and I found a 2019 Yamaha 150 show to slap on there. And man, it's been a fun boat since about July time frame when we got finished with it. It was beyond terrible condition, to say the least. It hadn't ran for a while. It had changed hands a couple times before we got it, and it was just not in good shape by any means. The upholstery was ruined, the outside looked like it hadn't been washed, inside looked like it hadn't been washed in a good while, probably a year or more, and it just was not in good shape. The trailer bearings were shot on one side. It was just probably headed to the graveyard if we didn't pick it up. We had intentions of just putting an engine on it, maybe a cheap stereo from Walmart in it, but of course I couldn't leave that alone. I had to completely redo the interior. All the upholstery's been completely redone. New stereo with two 8-inch subs, 4 speakers. Everything is scarred this time. The head unit though is a Fusion RA210, but I'll say the cost difference between a Fusion setup and a Scar setup is probably about a 50% price difference between the two. So it was nice saving some money and still getting some actually pretty good quality sound out of it. Just to be honest, it sounds really good for what it is. So if you're looking for some marine speakers, I wouldn't pass on Scar if you're looking for something that's cost effective and still sounds really good. And just like last time, I'll do a walk around, show you everything that I did on the outside, give you some ideas, and then I'll also go on the inside and show you all the goodies in there and how much newer of a boat it looks compared to what it did when we first got it. All right, starting at the front here, we swapped these nav lights out for some LED flush mounts. And I got the same type emblems as the 1720. They're embossed, so they're actually domed, and they're about 100 thousandths thick. They're not flat, so they really complement the boat well. I think I got a little rushed putting them on, and they might be a little bit crooked, but it'll be all right. Same thing with the 1720. We put the new pinstriping on. I got that straight from the Key West dealer, and this hull had zero shine to it. And I don't know how well you can see it with the sun kind of blaring from my right, but the hull did a really good job of cleaning up after hitting it with 1,000 and 1,500 grit sandpaper. We actually guide coated the whole boat. I'll post a picture right here what it looks like, and it basically shows you all of your low spots and where you have and have not sanded. So that was a really neat thing that I haven't used before. So if you're interested in wet sanding your boat, quite a few good videos out there on YouTube for gel coat work, but it really wasn't too bad. But between the outside, the top, and inside, we've got about 10 to 12 hours worth of wet sanding that we did. It definitely took a while, but it looks nice and it was well worth it. Same thing, new updated emblems from straight from the Key West website actually. And hey Woody, I really greatly appreciate these guide bunks. I appreciate you going back to your house and getting them for me when I met you at the Key West meet this year. They look good, fit great. We got some aluminum wheels. These are 14s. The 1720 has 15s, but these had a Amazon deal for the day when we picked them up, and they just complement the boat a bit better than the galvanized wheels that were on there before. Here it is. This was the replacement from the old Johnson. It's a 2019 Yamaha 150. 3 days ago we went to Defusky, and on the way back I was by myself, and I had a half a tank of fuel in the boat, and I hit 49.6 miles an hour, and it was still climbing, but I was having to make a slight right-hand turn, so I think it could hit the 50 mark, but it's neat getting that close to 50. And the really neat thing is that NISPro makes a 231 tune for this boat, and I'd love to see it run in the mid 50s. And I'm running a 22 pitch prop Mercury Laser 2, so it's not the best prop in the world, but I do have a 24 pitch Mercury Laser 2 that I might try with that tune, depending on how the RPMs are when we take it out with that. The boat had an old, probably like 5-inch Garmin chart plotter on there, but we took it out, we upgraded it to a 7-inch 72 SV, and this is a GT54 transducer. We put some new splash well tubes in, some new flaps down there. We've got the transom savers, basically. I got those straight from Amazon. They actually glow in the dark when the light hits it. It's pretty neat. Same thing over here. It's pretty shiny, considering it's 21 years old. Not too bad. All right, first I'm gonna start with the upholstery. That's definitely the most eye-catching thing when you look in here. All of this upholstery was done by Backwoods Boat Canvas here in the Effingham area. I'll put her card info right here. Miss Evelyn, you did a wonderful job, and I am greatly appreciative of it. These seats, I did reach out to Carolina Cushions, who also did the ones for the 1720, and they still had this whole design for all of the seats here, but it was going to be close to $4 grand after shipping, and if I picked it up, it was going to be around $3,600 to pick it up, and it just wasn't. I wasn't wanting to spend that much money on upholstery. You know, the 1720 only has realistically 2 seats, 3 since I added the swivel seat up front, but this having 2 rear jump seats back to back, the captain's chair and the front cushions, it was just going to be too much. So I opted for a local upholstery shop. She was 15 minutes from me, got everything back in a very timely manner, and it just looks so much better than before. So I don't think you can tell it right now on camera, but this white fabric has like a carbon fiber look to it almost, and when the sun hits it just right, it almost has like a blue sheen to it. It's called Sonic. It's got Sonic in the name. I can't remember what the actual product name is, but she did the rear jump seats, added the logo, new bolsters for both sides. And the piece of the puzzle that I was waiting on was this back-to-back seat here. I gave her some extra time on this since I didn't really need it as quickly as I did the other items, since there was a chair here, but this is actually out of a 203 DFS, and I took it to her, and man, she really knocked it out of the park with that same material. And it's just a beautiful color to it, and it looks really nice. The aftermarket chair that was in here, extremely flimsy, super flimsy. So this one right here is actually built really well, and it lays flat, and you can still put some stuff inside for storage too. This is the only thing that does not match the rest of the upholstery. This came in late July. I actually had it shipped to the Keys when we were down there for the Lobster Mini. And this chair, I think it's more or less like a pontoon chair, and maybe I'll see about getting this reupholstered at some point, but for now it's way more comfortable than the plastic chair that we had in there before. So much more comfortable, and it lays completely flat, so you can also relax, you know, while you're sitting down waiting on friends or sunbathing, whatever you want to do, just like this one does here. And up front, she replaced, this is the same foam that was there before on the backs, but these lower 2 is a little dirty right here from my footprint. But these lower 2 pieces were 2-inch foam. These are now 3-inch foam. So it's really comfortable, and it fits well, and it mates up just about perfect right here with this edge on the side piece there. And man, Coolest thing about 186 is there's storage all over the place. So you've got some storage lockers up here for whatever. And but yeah, that's the upholstery. You can kind of see it. Complements the boat well. Got several compliments on it actually already, and again, it's 21 years old, but I love polishing turds, I guess. All right, so here's the dash. It does have a tilting steering wheel that my boat does not have, so that's pretty neat. This is the Garmin 72 SV. Basically came with the coastal charts. Works great around here, but when we went to Lake Jocassee, the map that was in there was definitely no good, so all I could use it for was depth. So we had to put a new, remember everything was Johnson, so this is all swapped out with all OEM Yamaha stuff with a new switch here. And back here you can't really see it, but right there I added a USB and USB-C charger. It also tells you your voltage. Just a cheap little mod off Amazon, nothing crazy. The dash here is a 1/4 inch acrylic, and it's gloss, unlike the matte color on the 1720. But I actually cut this out by hand. I took this, the old one off, laid it over top of the acrylic, hit it with a jigsaw, rounded the corners, and then heated up the corners to kind of melt the acrylic to give it that nice shiny look on the corner. And this is a fusion puck to control the stereo. Since the stereo is located over here on the passenger side, it's the Fusion RA210. I wanted to be able to control it without having to grab my phone, so this is nice just to control the volume and the channel. I had to put this little filler plate in. It had a huge hole here. It looked like a couple holes from different radios throughout the years, so I just added this little backer in and then mounted this to the stereo, but it's extremely beefy with this 1/4 inch acrylic. It turned out pretty good though. I would like something a little bit more subtle, but it is what it is. I can't fix everything. This was a cream color, just like the dash was too. And I sent this, the whole glove box, I sent it out to Chameleon Customs in Bullitt County here in Georgia, and man, they really did such a great job. This piece right here was pitted so bad, and they were able to sand it down a good bit, and they really did a great job on this powder coating for the glove box, the surround, and the triangle piece here. So got nothing but great things to say about that company. All right, now the stereo, other than the head unit, we've got 2 8-inch subs, one here by my feet, another one over here by my feet, and then 4 6.5. So there's 2 up front, and then one here and one here. And the amp, I have it inside of here. You kind of see it. It's a 1,000-watt SCAR amp. I will say my wiring job in this boat is nothing compared to what it is in the other boat, but we were getting to be on a time crunch before we were taking the boat to the Keys, so I wanted to hurry up and try to get it done as quickly as possible. And here's just a look inside of the right behind the actual main console itself. But yeah, it's been a great boat so far. We took a couple couples out with it. We, like I said, went to the Keys, did the Lobster Mini, and when we went to the Lobster Mini, that was the second time out in the boat. The first time we just ran up to Defusky and did a quick run up there, but we've been taking it on quite a few adventures, and just mostly using the 1720 for some fishing here in the area and crabbing, if you saw the video we posted a little bit ago. But man, it's just been a neat boat. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, just like before, please put it in the comments, and hopefully this year for the Key West meet, I can A, hopefully snag a hotel room at Bell's Marina, and then B, I hope I can bring both boats and let my wife take this one, because she wants to learn how to drive it. She can drive it now, but she wants to be able to operate it a little bit better. So that's about it. If I get this NIS Pro tune put on at some point, either this year or maybe early next year, I'll do a video just on it. I'll keep the props the same. I will off it to the 24 pitch prop and see if I can get a little bit more in it. But right now, by myself, hitting the 49.6, I want to say the tack was right around 57, 58. I got a little excited looking at the chart plotter for the speed, because my fastest so far before that was around 44 with all 4 of us in the boat and a cooler and all that good stuff. So, but yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video. We saved another Key West from the graveyard. You guys go out, make some adventures, make some memories, and enjoy your time with your family. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see y'all on the next one.